Without taking care of it, the livelihood of the locals here might be lost for a very, very long time.
Yung grupo ang nagbulan dyan. Nakalaka gawang sa number 1. So sa liwat, ako si Alma, Lisay. So sandig rin ako.
Recently we heard about the crown-of-thorns problem, and as soon as we heard it, we wanted to do something.
Good morning everybody, welcome to a new video. It's a beautiful day here in Antique, Panay, Philippines, and today's video is going to be a very special. Ever since I got back to the Philippines, or when I come back from other trips, I always want to give back to the country that I love so much. And when me and Sherlyn heard about a problem here in Antique, we wanted to make our first mission before we start exploring the rest of the country. And what you see a lot in the news and the media today is the Amazon rainforest being on fire. And then recently a glacier melted completely in my country, Iceland. It was actually on the news quite a bit here in the Philippines. And so when we heard about the crown-of-thorns problem here in Antique, me and Sherlyn, we decided immediately to come here and make it our first mission coming back to the Philippines. Now what's happening in this area is actually a natural disaster similar to the Amazon and the glaciers in Iceland. And no one is talking about it. But what the crown-of-thorns do is that they spread so violently that they take over the whole coral system, destroying the ecosystem and the livelihoods of the local fishermen here in Antique. What is the cause of this outbreak? Well, obviously it's due to overfishing. And when there's overfishing, some species go away and others start populating, just like the crown-of-thorns is doing now. And when you see one type of species that is overpopulated in a reef, that means the ecosystem is in a bad shape. And that's what's happening exactly right here, right now in Antique. We'll be going to Mararison Island, which I've been to before, and they've counted about 10,000 of them in this island specifically. But there's other island that's over 100,000 of the crown-of-thorns, spread it over it completely. So our mission today is to go out there, clean up a little bit of crown-of-thorns and bring the awareness. And I hope this video starts a conversation among you guys, your friends and family members, and start talking about it, because if you want to see the livelihoods of the local fishermen being restored, this has to be fixed. Let's catch the boat to Mararison Island. We got a bunch of volunteers that are going to join us as well today. So without further ado, let's do some good work. Sherlyn, look at all the volunteers.
Bye-bye.
Okay, see ya. Alright, we just made it to Mararison Island and we have some good sights right now. The water is clear from the thunders and storms for the past couple of days, so that's a good sign. Behind us is the Bullabug Reef, and it's very hard to access it if the conditions are not right. But today is a perfect one, so that's the one we're gonna go and tackle. So without further ado, let's gear up and head out and do some work.
The corals, you have to slowly unpluck it, and then when it's soft already, you can take it.
Ah, okay, so you first little bit
Yes,
unplug
lift a little bit, yeah.
and then you remove it completely. And do we bring it up to the surface or into a bag first?
A bag.
Into a bag. Okay, Sherlyn's gonna join us as well today. She's gonna be filming me a little bit first when we're doing the first extraction, and then we fully commit to the project.
Makahinta na nga ginatos ka bilog, nga kung makakapot, gano'y daw hindi magbuhi. Sa dyan is binit, tapos dyan pag sa kilid.
How many is this?
20.
20. Wow.
Baby, careful because of the... What's so baby?
Okay, so the group of 15, they went into the shallow reef over here and they caught about 20-30 of them. But you can see they're very small. Very, very small. Wow, that's, yeah, you can see how big this one is.
Nas pala Rasalda.
Mga ano ba na? Junior. SK.
Junior.
These thorns on the crown-of-thorns are actually poisonous, so they're very dangerous and can be lethal for people if they're not handled correctly.
They're venomous.
Very venomous.
Crown-of-thorns is actually like a virus in the ocean, especially to the corals.
And all of this was only gathered in like a 30-40 minute dive. And these guys usually, most of them were collected by the beach. And the dive we just finished was just a check-up dive. They want to observe that reef. Alright, so we just came back from the second dive today, and even though we didn't catch much of crown-of-thorns, the divers, we only got about 5 or 6 of them in the second dive, but the other ones doing snorkeling
With Sherlyn.
with Sherlyn, they found about 100 in the snorkel depth. So you don't need to go far out to find these creatures. And here you have about 30 pounds of crown-of-thorns, and they believe this is about 100. And also here in Mararison, they believe there's around 10,000 of them still. The DNR has been doing researches around these islands here in Antique, and Mararison has the second most of them. But there's one island 3 hours from here that has over 100,000 of these. And big shout out to the team in Kalawak Mountain Resort, all of these guys in the green. They're the ones that caught these, and they're just doing a volunteering. They've never done this type of activity before, same as me, but now that we learned it, we can bring our craft to the next diving missions that me and Sherlyn do. The rain is back, guys, even though it was a great day today, but we want to do a big shout out to Cebu Pacific for making this trip happen, flying us to Iloilo and coming to Antique to be a part of this project. Also Kawa Inn and Kawa Mountain Resort for taking care of us. If you want to come here, be part of this, help the Antique people, because their livelihood is on the line, the fishermen, the local people. If this does not get fixed, the coral reef is dead. And you probably saw there at least 80 to 90% was already dead in this area. They're gonna be fighting this crown-of-thorns problem for the next 3 years. So if you ever have the chance to come here to Antique, please do and help the locals here. We're sitting here next to Alma, the environmental officer here in Kolasi, and it's a fascinating time, both in an interesting way and a bad way for the communities around these 3 islands. There's the COT's outbreak, but it's only happening to those 3 islands: Mararison,
Batbatan,
Batbatan,
and Maningning.
Maningning. It's very hard to pronounce those for me, but it's not, the problem is not in land, it's just on these 3 islands, and this has not happened since 1920s. I didn't know that until yesterday when Alma was teaching us about this problem, but we want to ask Alma, like, if volunteers want to come here and do a little bit of help, what can they do?
Contact us at our Facebook page, Kolasi Menro, or Menro Kolasi Facebook page.
Okay, I'll link them down below, and as well they have a GoFundMe page which support all the logistic cost of doing this type of work and the extraction. The main cost of helping out here is, you know, just petrol, gasoline, moving the volunteers back and forth between the islands and the mainland. So the cost goes into good hands, and they're doing their best to take care of this problem, because without taking care of it, the livelihood of the locals here might be lost for a very, very long time.